Hello, everyone, and we are back for the second game of the day. It is the one and only Lost Nation looking to once again tie up, I believe, not MMM. Fuck, that's who they're playing. MMM, who they're up against. They're looking to tie up Invicta once again at the top of the standings after we saw their impressive victory in the last match. And they've heard there's going to be a bit of a substitution here for the Lost Nation roster.
Yes, indeed. We have swapped out the mid laner. Rickard will not be playing this weekend. Instead,
Alas.
we'll have our one and only Mimi Slime swapped in, broke the kill record, like kill per minute record, I think, on Rengar on the first week. He got 15 kills in sub 15 minutes.
But not in the mid lane.
That is correct. That was in the jungle. A very flexible man indeed.
Indeed.
Plays about everything we put him on.
You've got to be flexible if you're playing Rengar. You got the older stretches and stuff down.
Well, that is certainly correct.
It takes a lot of effort to leap from those bushes, you know. But we're gonna have to see if he can leap onto the main stage just as effectively as well. I mean, MMM, they're no slouches either. Obviously not top of the table like Lost Nation is at the moment, but have put in quite a few good performances over the past couple of weeks. And I don't want to say I'd like to see an upset because I don't want to be too biased.
Oh, we have had two upsets last week actually. They have lost their perfect run. They are currently 8-2.
Wow, both games lost. Oh wait, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, while we go into the draft actually. First banning phase is coming out. Lost Nation on the blue side, of course.
Mm-hmm. So, in terms of bans, we're not going to see a Kale ban this time, unfortunately, because Rickett is not here.
I'm just gonna go for the Seraphine ban on the side of MMM, just because, well, it is always banned against Lost Nation. Maybe.
Which I think, obviously, that makes sense. When someone on your team is called
E-Girl?
Seraphine, yeah, E-Girl. It's called Seraphine on the Discord server. I'm not going to look at their profile picture.
Do not.
Too closely. But when they have that disposition, you definitely ban out their champion. You don't leave anything to chance. Much like how we saw Kindred ban last game. It's the rule of the AL, man. You ban the champion if it has the name of if a player has the name of the champion in their name. It's just common sense. We see Ari taken off the board as well. Carter's banned out. A lot of the scaling taken off here by MMM.
I am pretty sure that the Cathars is targeted towards Mimi Slime in this case. And there's the Seraphine. Fishtail, of course, never gets to play his GP because he's Fishtail.
I mean, Aatrox is on. Maybe it's going to be a Fishtail Aatrox. That's always a wonder to watch as well. So.
But on the other hand, first picking a top laner may not be the best idea.
Look, you might not call it a
okay,
call it based, but Rel is a lot more based on what is strong.
Yes.
Obviously, very, very strong in support at the moment. Mini rework actually did end up being a buff despite my expectations. Oh, well, not like a buff. I knew it was.
It is a buff. It is a buff.
It definitely is buff. Definitely is a buff. Also buff because you can now play her in the jungle mostly, right? She's not perfect. I think she does fall off after the first couple of clears, but still has that devastating gank potential coming through. So looks like though, as the counter pick, MMM here are going to opt for the Ziggs, another champion we've been seeing crop up quite a lot in pro play, usually accompanied by an ADC either going to the mid lane or into sending Ziggs into the mid lane, ADC in the bot lane. But the Alistar, the classic counter pick into Rel, slammed here for MMM.
May just be, well, as the Alistar bot lane, just sitting back, farming up the Ziggs, the Alistar going roaming.
It's very stable.
If the Ziggs is actually to go into the bot lane, I predict there's gonna be a lot of roaming from both supports. Mm-hmm. Swain, that could be bot lane. And there's the Aatrox you talked about.
It's gotta be official Aatrox. If the GP's off the board, has to be.
Oh wait, Irelia is up. Known to be one of the strongest Aatrox counters.
Yeah, but then again, Fischl is going to be one of the strongest.
But it
Ajax
is,
players.
yeah, indeed, it is Fischl.
He's probably
So-
played this match a billion times, knowing him. Is it going to get slammed in? It's also one of those champions where you.
Okay,
No,
that is less. How
I think Jax
I-
also is very, very good into the Aatrox.
Yeah,
because
he
Aatrox
is.
doesn't-
Also, he's a lot less volatile than the Irelia.
Mhm. Have I? Oh no, just need to check. Am I Discord using the right mics? My mic's been. I thought my mic was. I guess not. I guess not. Through luck, my mic was not muted. Anyway. Jax is pretty good into the Aatrox as well because the idea of both Irelia and Jax is that they can get on you as the Aatrox, right? Like they can just jump on your head. Aatrox doesn't, funny enough, doesn't like champions being in melee range that much unless he has that third Q stored up. So when he's very vulnerable, standing there, pushing that first Darkened Blade slam, you jump on him, practically counter strike his Jax. What's he gonna do? Probably cry. So that's why the Jax is pretty good into the Aatrox. But we'll have to see if it's good enough to, balance out the skill.
Also,
of
the
Lost
Counter
Legends
Strike
top laner.
stops Aatrox from proccing his passive, which made him would make him heal up quite a bit.
Of course.
Oriana.
So, yeah, denies a lot of the kit. So Oriana Graves taking off Graves on those power farming junglers. Maybe suggests to me that this, well, as it should be probably, this Rel is heading into support. I do remember actually seeing a little bit of a from Playmaster in the bot lane, seeing a little bit of Swain action previous. There's an inkling
Yes.
of mine.
Yeah, it
in
is.
previous seasons, Lost Nation Swain being very, very strong. So I think Swain Rel bot lane has a lot of not like sharp kill potential. Like they don't have like that much burst, but they have so much sustained damage and so much lockdown. It's really hard to get away. We see LeBlanc and Monkey taken off the board. Syndra very, very safe.
Okay,
line
that
pick in the
I
mid
think
lane.
that makes the locks the Ziggs in on the bot lane
Mhm.
because I do not expect the Syndra to go there. I mean,
Hey.
she could if there was an ADC already locked in on Lost Nation's side, but I assume it's gonna be Swain and he's not gonna die. That's
could
CNI
be-
still. Oh
It
god.
could be a Syndra top lane.
Oh
I don't wanna
god,
say it's
oh
not that. I
god.
don't think it is. Asol, another interesting jump, right?
Very, very
Especially
interesting.
Into something like the Syndra. Asol, a champion that wants to be able to scale up over the course of the game. Syndra, a champion that likes murdering you very early on in the game. So it's going to be a little bit dubious, I think, as to whether or not Asol is going to be able to.
I wonder if will have
Actually,
like a jungler that is like trying to get the Syndra away from the ASL, like murdering the Syndra early on. Since
It is an
there
interesting
is a
choice.
Jarvan. Yeah, that I think that counts as murdering early on.
So I'm really curious what MMM choose to do here with their last pick in jungle. Unless they really want to secure the Syndra priority over Lost Nation, which I don't necessarily know that they did. They have to have something cooking up in this last pick in jungle. It has to be something a little bit spicy. Cross your fingers. What do you think it'll be? Maybe a Kindred? I think Kindred works very well into a lot of the champions coming out from Lost Nation. Looks like it's going to be a
Sejuani.
Sejuani. I'm not sure about
I'm
Sejuani
kind of torn on
counter
this
pick.
as well.
I think there's, especially into something like a Jarvan, much better stuff you could be picking into the enemy team comp than just a Sejuani. It's very much like the whole blue side is good because you get the first pick and you get to choose what powerful champion you want. Red side's good because you get last pick and you get to choose what powerful counter pick you want. I don't think this Sejuani is much of a counter pick at all.
No, it's more like it fits the rest of the comp, but into Lost Nations lineup, I'm not sure if you actually want to pick the Sejuani there, because she.
I do.
The thing is, we already talked about how Sejuani gets countered by basically everything that blocks her charge, and there's 5 abilities that would block that.
Yeah, block it or cancel it. That's a little bit scary. I do want to point out that, like, the one good thing with Sejuani here is that Sejuani Syndra is a very, very lethal combo. You did need something to punish this Asol in mid lane. And despite not having a melee, right, which Sejuani really, really likes to have alongside her, there is an angle for... Oh, we're wasting a draft. Anyway, yeah, there is certainly an angle for ASOL to get killed on repeat in mid lane, but it's you're getting a bit outscaled here if you're the MMM lineup, which is not great. Not really what you want to be seeing, right? You're on a bit of a timer with these champions. Even when you got stuff like a Jax in the top lane, even when you got like a Ziggs who's going to be neutralizing, they don't have that much way to force advantage early on, unless Jax can do real bits in the side lane, which, reminder, it's very difficult to push into an ASOL. It's going to be very difficult for MMM, I think, to play this one out. I much prefer the Lost Nation draft. Even if they don't have an AD carry, Swain is going down towards that bot lane, as we suspected. There's enough damage on this composition, and enough... yeah, just enough damage on this composition, I think, to be able to punch through the MMM lineup.
I am very, very intrigued by the ASOL. As you said, ASOL kind of like puts down his E, presses Q as long as he has mana, and then he just backs off. And then he does it again on repeat till he hits 2 or 3 items, and then he just floats over into your bot lane maybe, drops a fucking comet on him, and then...
drops a nuke.
Yeah.
It's even yeah, just it's such a ticking time bomb. You need to be punishing this pick, and I'm not sure they have the tools to do it. But we'll have to see on the Rift. I think we're going to go to a quick break because there's some production difficulty, technical difficulties, players not understanding that you can pause in blind pick now in draft, which is fair enough. I didn't know that until a few weeks ago, but it's fine to have blind pick in your lobbies and not just a tournament draft. But anyway,
we're gonna
see
go to short break.
how these drafts progress. We're going to a quick break. Don't go anywhere.
So hold our heads up high and beat the drum to what we love. Risk the fall, oh, we have felt it all come crashing down from far above. Stars are rising, countless worlds colliding. Only one will take it all. Can we bring to fall the giants? Can we make the final call? We are the ones to ignite the darkened skies. The champions of a world that we defy. A solar ray of the few who rise up high. And we all fight at the last light. Hearing voices from afar. Join the madness when the curtain falls. Risk it all, hold nothing back. Seize the day, we must attack. Stars are rising, countless worlds colliding. Only one will take it all. Can we bring to fall the giants? Can we make the final call? We are the ones to ignite the darkened skies. The champions of a world that we defy. A solar ray of the few who rise up high. And we all fight We are the ones to ignite the darkened skies. The champions of the world that we defy. A solar ray of the few who rise up high. And we all fight at the
welcome back. We're here for the second game of 3 this time, tonight. It's Lost Nation up against MMM, Fish and Chips. What a banger set of names, by the way. Fish and Chips here on the Aatrox and the Jarvan. Mimi Simon mid lane, no Rickett. On this Aurelion Sol in Seagull and Corval down the bot lane.
Oh.
Bit of an iconic pair. So on the Swain and Rel. Meanwhile, for MM we got Boblo, obviously on the Jax. Jax Sejuani We didn't mention this in the pre-draft, but very, very powerful 2 versus 2 combo. Like, if you can get on them as Jax, get the stun up, which, I mean, into Aatrox, it is possible. Then I think you can look to find some early impact on the Sejuani, but apart from that, it's going to be somewhat difficult. I think you do have to try and leverage your early pressure into Mimi Slime in the mid lane, but even if you have push lane and pushing, well, I think you need to have a pushing bot lane, have Sven Stenik roam up from that bot lane up towards mid, find a dive onto Mimi Slime, or else if you don't punish this not Aatrox, it's Aurelion Sol, he's going to stay like a monster into the mid game and even more so into the late game.
Yes, indeed. Meanwhile, we're gonna have a same size start, so both junglers will most likely clash on the top lane when done clearing.
Well, I mean, both of these junglers do recognize, I guess, the volatility of this lane, right? And recognize also the lack of volatility in this bot lane. I think Kinrantha can choose to just not interact at all with Swain and Rel. Rel obviously needs those very, very telegraphed crash downs, can be cancelled by that explosive charge, explosive satchel coming out from Kinrantha, or even just a pulverize from Sven Stenik. It's very difficult to find engage in this bot lane. It's a very, very defensive bot lane into, exactly what Lost Nation have drafted. So both junglers rightfully realizing the top lane is where the action is going to be. And now in the 2v2, I think even then, Boblo and Fish should win out. Chips can ward off the red buff. Maybe think that Miragotl is passing in a different direction. Ooh, something spicy I think is going to happen. Jumping on with the counter-strike. Flash, stunned up. Fish flashing away the flash to confirm. Winter's Bite, it's too much. The Fish is skewered. First blood over to Boblo. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. And it's just, I think, I'm not sure if we saw it, but I think that...
Oh, he's gonna go for another round.
Oh no, don't do it again. Don't have to do it like this.
Oh,
jump on the counter strike.
No flash, of course.
This time, not pulled back by the chains. Auto last one confirms the stun. Damage comes
Tries
from
to walk
Conqueror,
it
has
out.
been
Mimi
trying
Slime is
to
roaming up.
run.
And so
don't think-
is Chips.
Ooh, maybe a little bit too greedy on the repeat gank. Mimi Slime got to try and get something done. Dash away, low bob, low health, taken down. Fish gets their revenge in the play.
And Mimi Slime is just gonna teleport back, catch those 3 casters. Meanwhile, a bot lane engage actually going through. Kowal not gonna get cancelled, but also gonna pick up the kill. Maybe not.
Nicely done.
Probably not the thing you wanna see, but more action than I expected out of this bot lane.
this is-
Chips failing the gank
Swain.
on the mid lane.
Yeah, Chip's not able to find anything in mid lane. This is the power of Swain and not Seraphine. Sorry, it's a very classic combo. Swain and Rel. I can't believe I keep forgetting the champ's name. To just find engages out of nowhere. Maybe it's just a mistimed pulverize. Chips does smite that one
Chips
away.
got that one, and he's just gonna.
He's looking for something in the top lane. Boblo charging forward.
I-
No counter strike. Does have the attack speed though. Lethal tempo coming in clutch. Now though is in a whole heap of trouble. Waiting in this bush. Chips knows he's. Ooh. Oh my god, the fancy footwork. Boblo's probably going to make their way out of this one. Flag not up for a decent amount of time. And the ring around the roses come out on top. I'm so impressed by this top laner here for Eminem. Yeah, just very, very...
There's a lot more happening in the early game than I would have expected, but also don't forget Jax and Aatrox, as you said, very volatile lane, but also very Jax favorite as well. Especially with top lane in the early game, most lanes are decided there. And it looks like Boblo has won his lane, at least for now.
Well, yeah. I do want to point out, obviously, Mimi Slime roamed up as well. Still, though, keeping on pace with Adsa. I'm gonna end up calling them Asda. I guarantee it. It's a big shopping brand in the UK. I will end up misspeaking. So Adsa, still even on CS, I don't think they even managed to get a plate. So very nice done by Mimi Slime to find that roam when they did on that timer. Didn't end up giving out too much for it. And if you're going even into the mid game as ASOL, things are looking pretty good. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, things are looking pretty good for Lost Nation as well. Eagle and Corval, these two have played together for so long. They are very much a veteran duo. Even if Eagle does like their unconventional carries, right? Obviously known for the therapy.
I would not call his play style very much a carry play style. He usually leaves that up to about everybody else. But
of course.
yes, very consistent on those like champions that just sit back and want to farm. But that doesn't mean they can't play a good bot lane. And of course, with the Rel of going more for the engaging and killing lane. Meanwhile, there is a Sejuani in the top lane once again. Fish is just gonna get engaged on by the Jax.
I think just covering here in case.
Just in case.
Yeah, just in case Chips decide to rear their head. But Boblo, change your username, friend. You are not low by any means. Actually, solo killing one of our strongest top laners in the tournament, right? Fish, as I said, very very veteran player. It's the reason why you ban out a bunch of his champions, but just dumpstering him in this counter matchup. Yeah, of course it is a counter matchup, but 3 kills before this 8-minute mark. Super snowballing. However, on the other side of the map, because Mittergol spent so much time up in that top lane, Lost Nation will be able to pick up that first rate. Pyro in the bot lane helps as well. Ziggs doesn't have the opportunity to go for that Fiendish Codex over the Lost Chapter, which is somewhat surprising to me. Not going to have that push. Ziggs obviously known for having Palm and Pyro once they get that first Lost Chapter, but not able to have it quite yet. Does mean that the Dragon will get taken up by Lost Nation, so they've got that win condition in their back pocket.
Also, Lost Nation seems to not have noticed the Sejuani on that Rift Herald.
Ooh, they're going in for it now.
Chips.
Oh no.
Pays a visit there, and he's got to steal it away as well.
That is depressing.
That is very tragic indeed.
And that's what happens if you don't roam your top lane or don't roam your mid lane to help out with the Herald. Just doesn't get taken fast. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, Ego finds another kill onto Sventenic.
Oh, wow.
Another kill over to Kinderather. Wow. You said this bot lane is not known for carrying. They just found another 2v2 kill. Absolutely.
But look at the standings. The second kill also went over to DRL. So maybe some miscommunication there. Or just the ignite to Kingtown. CO Boblo is just gonna hop out. Gonna go for the dive though.
Dive.
Oh no! Oh no!
Chips tanks a second.
Oh wow!
Swag flag will pick up the kill though. Nicely done by the Lost Nation top lane. As we said, these are players that have played for quite a long time before, as you can see by the synergy in their names. And they find the play onto Boblo, neutralizing that advantage somewhat, and Fish now is ahead on CS and will be even on the turret plates as well. Herald, especially when Herald gets summoned up in the top lane.
Yeah, this mid lane matchup being kind of like you would expect. Of course, the early roam up by the ASOL put a little dent there, but I don't think there's much of a gold difference there. Well, actually there is about 200 gold, but it's not as bad as what you would expect.
Well, it's 200 gold in favor of
that is correct.
Mimi Slime, right? So it's definitely not as bad as you expect. Mimi Slime obviously being a lot more active on the map than Adasa.
Well, one roam is better than none of them.
Yeah, true. And
meanwhile,
again, as you said, ASOL having a bit of a boring time in the mid lane, but boring is good, right?
In this case, yes.
Almost got towards the first item as Corvo looks to engage the double hook, the
Oh.
Magnet Storm, and when Ziggs is in melee range, he ain't getting out. The satchel charge is too much. Finstatic gonna end up stunned up. Corvo tanking onto the turret, but pulled back with
Keeps
that never
tanking.
move.
Not enough damage though. Mimi
Nowhere
Slime.
near- Oh no.
Oh,
Um,
he
Has the
he
start
might.
to
Yeah, there it is.
flash forwards, drops the meteor, headbutt,
Oh,
pulverized onto the turret, has to flee for their life, but will still, with the dragon's breath, pick up the kill for themselves.
meanwhile, Chips is just gonna pick up those minions in the mid lane. No tower damage
In a
for the
top lane-
Syndra.
top lane
What
though,
is
he's
going
fine
on top
killing.
lane?
I think maybe just a little bit overextended there from.
Maybe he just wanted to get the turret. That is my take on
They
that.
already got the turret. They got the turret.
Oh,
a
did
while
they
ago,
all-
I think. Yeah. So I think it was just a little bit of a fun, happy moment there for
Fish.
Fish. I mean, I'd still be pretty happy if I was in his position, right? So can't be.
Well, there is one problem for Lost Nation though, and that is I think the Aatrox will never be able to match the Jax in a split pushing situation. You might want to send the Asol in that case, but of course, most
I
top
do want to-
laners always can be a nuisance on the side. Oh, what is going on?
Boblo gets
Ah.
the stun through, but here's Chips for the counter gank, a little bit too over aggressive, and it's this time Boblo who's caught out under their destroyed tier 1 ruins. Chips picks up that kill for themselves. I respect them going for the joust, trying to find some
Oh.
sort of carry potential for themselves, but
Oh.
oh,
Meanwhile, mid lane, if Mimi Slime had the ultimate, I think he kills.
I mean he does now, but with Mitarogl in the area, you can't really look for anything here. Very low, has to go for the reset. Will has already finished up their Rylai. It's pretty good into the short range composition, apart from the Ziggs, of course, coming out from MMM here, and now the teleport comes through as well. Double
teleport
It's
indeed.
Fish and Mimi Slime.
Forces out the
Mitrogol-
flash by Mitrogol. Chips just getting stunned up by the Syndra though.
And that's a double teleport for nothing, baby.
Well,
Overcommittal.
you
do end
could
up
you
getting
could
the fight,
argue
but-
that they got the dragon for it, but I'm not sure if MMM would even have contested that one.
Yeah, especially not with just how. Look at the mythic items. Bot lane mythic completed to bot lane no mythic, and I mean obviously top lane mythics will complete as well, but bot lane is just so far ahead. And Eagle on this Swain. Swain dominates at these points, right? These sort of mid game scrappy fights. Once one or two items are completed, so I think it makes sense that they wouldn't have maybe tried to contest anyway. But that does, it's better to have one in the hand than two in the bush. Better to have that Drake on the board than a potential play in the future.
Question
So
is,
it's
will
like
this
this.
be another happy moment by Fish? Because Mitrugol is once again in the area, ready to punish this poor Aatrox even harder.
Fish is playing a little bit safe. Doesn't want to risk it too much, and I think Mitrugol is going to get spot out by the Spire's Groove of Coral chooses to hit it. Doesn't actually. Going to go for the Scotograph as well. Instead. Ward on the Herald. I don't even know if Corvo got seen. It's a very interesting set of plays. Meanwhile, now, both supports have been spotted out on each other. I don't think much is going to come of it.
I feel like they know that he's
I
there.
feel like a collapse is happening up here. Yeah, they have to suspect the flash stun comes through, cancelled on that charge, but Mitrogol DC'd up, trapped in the chains. Here comes the Cataclysm, Boblo taking out Mimi's
and
life.
there
here
is
to
the
drop
Aesol.
nuke, picks up one, almost picks up a second. Chipso in a bit of danger, but as to the only one left, taken out. An absolute masterclass up in the top lane here from Lost Nation. 4 for nothing team fight wipe.
And yes, that is like, as I said, that there are no 5-man fights in this. It's either Jack split pushing, or Dizek split pushing, or farming, or just
maybe finding
doing
some sort of
whatever.
pick, right? It doesn't. These 5v5 fights are against the Swain. even though Swim wasn't there, you're against an Aurelion Soul, you're against an Aatrox and a Jarvan. These champions all pretty damn excel in the 5v5 scenario. Hell, Rel is the strongest engaged support on the patch, and the patch where engaged supports are strong, so still gonna be pretty happy there. Eagle though getting
Eagle looking caught out.
on the flanks, has that demonic ascension, will be sucking the health from Svenstick. Flash away. Flash
Teleport
force,
coming
another
in by the
move
Jax.
doesn't come through. The
Oh,
teleport
it's
is
being
cancelled.
cancelled.
Jax now finding the fight on top lane to Chips. It's a bonanza in the bot lane. Here comes the rest of MMM. E-Girl not long for this. E-World Corval knocked back as well. The stun comes out. Unleash power.
Unable to
E-Girl
execute.
survives a little longer. Does end up falling. Corval now falls, but here's A-Soul slamming down that Meteor. Double kill already. The cavalry has arrived. It's a quadra kill for the A-Soul, and with Fish finding that kill in the top lane, it's an ace for the Lost Nation lineup.
That teleport cancel was crucial there by Chips. Because if the Jax actually comes into this fight, this might go a completely different way. Eagle dies
and-
much quicker, and
Yeah,
the
just
Asol
2
may
seconds
not
sooner.
even be able to salvage any of that.
Yeah, but the cavalry did end up coming in. Mimi Slime proving that they're no slouch, proving that they deserve to be subbed in, but now in the top lane, Chips and Fish. Gonna be a combo meal, I think, for MMM. But Fish does.
Well,
manage to
they
make
seem
their
to
way out.
prefer the Chips.
Yeah, I mean, I can't blame them. I think the Fish sometimes can get a bit greasy. Chips, stick a bit of salt on them, stick a little bit of vinegar. They're always delicious. So the meteor target, well, not the meteor target, the one with the bounty does end up falling.
I
so
mean,
they're
they
still gonna be low
did
cost.
both have bounties, but the one is quite a
The
bit
one
bigger. I
without any
think.
deaths. It's still quite fun to see Fish with a bounty. on
Oh,
my
go,
God,
go,
massive
go.
nade from Cole
And
Ball
another
to the top
teleport
lane.
coming in. The Asol is on his way.
But Eagle is stunned up. Eagle is burst out, but Asol free firing 7-0 and 3. Boblo able to make their way on to them with the counter strikes. Doesn't go through, but the rest of MMM are winning out this fight. Fish can't make anything happen, and a bit of an overextension. I like the idea of the turn from Colwell, but Eagle just not tanky enough to survive, being focused. Great target selection there.
I think
from
it would
MMM.
have been good if Mimi Slime had more mana and also his ult back up.
True.
Because
yeah.
he had like enough mana to press Q once and then just empty. Chips, meanwhile, it seems like he was fishing for his Drake. Why are there so many fish and chips jokes here? This is not good.
I'm somewhat surprised here that I guess they don't have the ultimates, but you'd think that the MMM lineup could have immediately run for this Drake, stop the soul stacking win condition.
Also, they don't seem to know, as
Yeah.
it is currently.
Well, they might know, but they don't have vision. On it.
They
It's
don't
really
see
hard
it.
to contest. Yeah. Should just go over. Yeah, no hope of contention there. A little bit of off timers for MMM, and somehow this game's only been 90 minutes long. We've got 27 kills. We've got 3 Drakes sitting on board.
Okay.
7k gold lead as well. I'd
Another
imagine a lot
fight
of that
in the
is
bot
on
lane.
Mimi Slime, as there's another fight in the bot lane. Boblo dashing through, nice down on those chains. We'll get knocked up though.
Kowal on his way. Maybe
Possibly
able to
champion
turn
is
that.
on just a little bit longer.
Oh.
Still ticking. Doesn't even need the support.
Oh.
Fish gonna find the kill. I mean, donate the kill over to Mimi Slime. That's plus extra 5 starter stacks. That's got to be worth.
Meanwhile,
top lane is a collapse.
E-Girl is just gonna get picked up by 3 people. Kind of a 1-for-1 trade there. Question is, was it worth it? I would say for
Kinda
Lost
like-
Nation it was, since they only lost their weakest damaging member, I would say.
Ooh,
Kowal
speaking
on
of
his
losing,
way,
should they,
teleport coming in from the Aatrox.
Nicely done on the flag. Teleport coming in. I said, speak of losing players, MMM is going to be losing their support to the Lost Nation crew. Metrical pulled back
Oh.
as well, but Fish very, very
Boblo
low.
on his way. The
Massive
nuke
ulti coming out
goes
from
out.
Mimi Slime. The nuke lands. The AoE's enough. 2 kills. Somehow Lost Nation are finding these out of thin air. I think they were going to get any of those kills, but they somehow managed to find 1, find 2. Very nice committal play there by Chips, catching out the support and then as paying for their support with their life. The support. Still though, you can see the power of Ziggs. Has just been sitting in this mid lane. No turret's been taken in that lane. However, across the rest of the map, pretty dire story for the MMM lineup. You see, top lane inhibitor is open. Bot lane tier 2, a sliver of health and absolutely no turrets destroyed on the Lost Nation side. Perfect game it is not. They have died a fair amount, but they are getting a soul point win condition in. Would it be possible to turn on objective timers quickly, production, so we can just see how long it is? Thank you very much. On these objectives, 2.5 minutes until that Infernal Soul will come online. And when it does, the team fighting team is going to be able to force a team fight. And the non-team fighting team is going to be very unhappy because they're going to have to either make a miracle team fight work or be facing down a soul. And not just any soul, perhaps the best soul in the game, Infernal.
And also, they will have to deal with the very, very fat Asol on the topic of dragons. That is 3 items on that.
Spawned at 22 minutes. Meanwhile, Fish getting flashed on in the bot lane, stun nowhere near range for Asda, but it shouldn't matter. They brought more members, caught out on the split map. Svenstick gets that kill, and with dragons spawning up in not too short amount of time, it looks like the only option is to head for the Baron hit for Lost Nation. They do know that 3 are on the bot side teleport though is there for Asda. Boblo making their way from base, but they're so far delayed, and you find the pick onto the support, but barring a miracle steal, you're not going to find anything else. Baron goes over, and Mitrogo falls once again to the 10-0-5 Asol. Mimi Slime, more like mega powerful. Kindrata does get one back. But massive stun! Huge meteor.
He's not going to capitalize on him, though.
Still going to end up shut down. That's their first death. Caster cursing them, and despite hitting the massive stun, Ego doesn't have the damage.
Chips?
Ego Mimi Slime dead. Chips
actually gets out. He is the only remaining Baron. You could argue that that was not the play for... Oh, I mean, well...
I think taking the Baron was the play. I just don't know if...
Well, they kind of, like, turned and died and gave a huge shutdown over to that Jax. And I think it's up to Boblo to carry this game. Like, there is no other member, maybe the Syndra, able to support with damage from the back. But the Jarvan has been very consistent with diving on top of them and taking them out fairly quickly.
Yeah. It's really on Boblo to carry this game, but the interesting thing is, you say Jax really wants to split push. Your strongest member is not going to be with your team the majority of the time, which is a bit of the curse and the blessing. No one can match him in the side lane, but nobody can match him in the team.
And that's a huge ultimate.
Massive ultimate coming out there from Mimi Slime, and this time you have enough teammates to back you up. It's a double kill. It's a 4-0 with Fish there. Fish getting called off on the side lane was more impactful than you thought.
And Ziggs is still farming top lane.
Yeah, Jay chilling, honestly.
He chilling. Been chilling.
I mean, I wouldn't be chilling if my team just gave over the Infernal Soul. You said they either need to fight or they need to face down the Infernal Soul. They did both, which is not usually the best, right? They gave over 4 more kills. It's a 12k gold lead. It's a soul lead here. Infernal Soul. Elder Drake's even spawning up at the 29-28 minute mark, which means that 29 minute mark.
If we have a look at this Asol again, he has just been shut down, but he's already worth 1,000 gold once again.
Oh my gosh, that's absolutely disgusting. See just how far they are ahead. Damage from BB Slime.
Glacial Prism gonna hit Eagle. Big stun.
Ricketts shaking his boots, scared this might be another Insanity situation. If you've been watching the LCS, you'll know that reference. But Mimi Slime coming in off being a sub, or even like was it Caps that just dominated on their first game when they got subbed in? Oh, massive engage there for Cornwall. Finds the Magnet Storm to 3. Gifted. There's the empowered ultimate from Mimi Slime. The AoE potential of this team is just so incredibly immense. They find the snap engage, and that's all you need to do. As the
And
will falls
Asol
as
just
well,
flies towards his lane adversary, tells him,
towards his
well,
prey, if I'm honest.
no, just no.
Well, Lost Nation once again showing why they deserve to be one of the two teams at the top of the standings, finding a very clean win. 26 minutes, sure, a couple of deaths here and there, but it never felt like the game was out of their control. Getting that Infernal Soul, getting the Z's, and sure, Jax did get a little bit of a lead in the other game. Low Bob got a salute you over there, but unfortunately it's a little bit of a team diff. Low Bob dealing the most damage in the game, but yeah, unfortunately scoreboard is broken for spectator, but still. Nicely done by the Lost Nation bot lane, even if there are a couple of
Hiccups.
unfortunate scenarios, especially around that Baron where they got wiped off the board. Did some great job early, just put some great pressure in. Corval, chef's kiss on those engages. Absolutely brilliant job on the Seraphine, and now I believe are once again uncontested at the top of the standings. We've got one more game coming up for you tonight, and you're going to have to remind me which one it is, because I didn't know we had a third game.
Oh, well, we have been decided to. We are gonna be swapped out. The two of us are not gonna cast this last game. So, I guess
Wow.
you were correct. For it is only 2 games for the 2 of us.
It's only games that we're casting, but we've got
Some
one.
members of Sports Section are gonna join us tonight and guide you through the last game, I gotta say. With those words, I'm gonna sign off. We're gonna go into short break, and after that,
Stay
it's
tuned.
up
Sports
to-
Section, they're gonna smash it.
oh right, yeah, we still got one more game, right? Okay,
But we'll catch you on the flip side. I'll be in chat. You'll see my name.
of course.
Of course.
Okay. Good evening, guys. Today we are casting and commentating the game between
Rassen,
Tribal.
Tilly, and the boys against Tridal. I'm Spot Section Pixel ADC, and joining me for this game is the most handsome mid laner of the league, Tridal. How hyped are you for this banger of a game? I see you even did your hair.
Thank you that you noticed that. I always come clean shaven to the best occasions. It's Sunday evening. How hyped can you be at 10 p.m.? What I'm expecting the most is some play from Not So Reformed in coordination with Grey Fox. And even though the Tribal doesn't seem to be in the best position to play this game, I have some hopes for Way for Glory, but we might see more later in the picks and the draft pick and ban. And yeah, back to you, Pixel.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think looking at the standings, obviously Rassen, Tilly, and the boys is going to be the clear favorites for the game, as they are looking to keep themselves in punching distance of the top of the table. Lucky for them, obviously, they are drawn in Group A, so they might have, for the first time in the history of their team, the chance to make playoffs. In Group B, obviously, they would struggle to even contest for 6th place. But on the other hand, as you say, Tribal struggling at the bottom half of the table, only 3 wins out of 10 games. But I think they want to prove that they can compete, and I think they will try to keep their playoffs chances alive.
Yeah. Currently, we are still waiting for the
Draft to begin.
draft. Yeah, to begin. Official start is at, if I'm not wrong, in 8 minutes. Yeah. Let me check the standings so far.
Yeah, Rassen, Tilly, and the boys tied on 3rd place with 7-3, while Tribal is a bit far down on 8th place with 3-7. So, yeah, Rassen, Tilly, and the boys obviously favorites for the game, but I think it might get more excited than it looks on the first view.
Yeah, we are expecting a beam roll from Russ and Tilly and the boys towards Tribal. Gameplay wise, I'm not sure if they are ready for the Aphelios champ or Aphelios on Tribal. I've seen them playing or picking him a few times. We still see a lot of Y and Maokai in the LEC, LCK.
Yeah, the Aphelios obviously one of the priority picks in this meta. And even for those 2 teams, I think it's pretty bot lane focused. So it's really gonna be about whether Grey Fox is able to get that bot lane ahead, get Rassen in a really good position to take over the game. And on the other hand, at Tribal bot lane, a lot of hyper carries as well, Jinx, Aphelios. So I think this is gonna be really exciting.
I'm a little bit confused on the Shago picks or the champs that he's played, but because apparently both of them share a mid lane champion pool, or rather a support champion pool on Panini Tilly and Shago. So I'm a little bit excited to see what a support main is going to pick for the ERL. And yeah.
Yeah, I think especially if when we have such a botlane focused meta, the synergy between mid lane and jungle will also be really important. Grey Fox playing a lot of this carry junglers, Elise, for example. So he should try to get his team ahead early, being the kind of bridge between the early and the late game.
Okay, Damon checking in one more time. Since we have to bridge quite a bit of time, since Tribal's coordination in team seems to be a little lacking. They are still waiting on their AD carry. Just gonna give you guys a little bit of insight here on, mostly RTB, since they have been here for quite a while now. They have been, I think this is their 4th season playing, not under the name RTB, but rather, okay, actually I've been corrected, it was actually season 4. So they were once under the name 404 Team Not Found, and then again under the name Infiniteam, and now rebranded once again to Russ and Tilly and the boys. Of course, keeping the bot lane still the same, only the mid, top, and jungle getting swapped around, and it seems we are close to ready to start our draft. Of course, I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. I'm gonna expect most bans from Tribal being targeted towards Rasen and his massive AD carry champion pool. But we have seen last week he's about as flexible and about as sure of a shot with those Ash arrows than he is on, for example, Anaphelios, as you guys said, as a hyper carry. The guy can play about anything, and it's always about shutting him down, not letting him get into the game, and keeping him focused. Meanwhile, we're just gonna hop in to the draft, since Tribal lost a ban. Wait, no. What the hell? Okay, we seem to have even more technical difficulties. From the side of Russ and Tilly and the boys this time around. Okay, seems to have been resolved. We're gonna cut over into draft. I just realized I am still here. It says for... I'm gonna fix that real quick. That is my bad. The production quality has gone down the drain. Gonna get you in here, Krydal. Of course, being the actual caster for tonight, and not me. And I'm gonna give over the analyzation of that draft to you guys. Diamond checking out.
So we see Russ and Tilly and the boys, starting with the bans on Jinx. Oh. Yeah, Udyr, which is the OTP pick of Tribal. I've seen him preparing a lot of different champs compared to Udyr, but as mentioned, he has played most of his champs with Udyr this season. So he might pull out a Kha'Zix, even a Diana, maybe a Lee Sin.
Yeah, also I think the Jax ban on the side of RTB makes a lot of sense, since you really used to focus on some picks like Ornn, Malphite. So yeah, Jax with the Blade of the Ruined King could really pressure that top lane, so you can deny it. And on the other hand, Tribal banning away the Ashe from Rasen, which is a huge power pick for him. And also the Elise, to kind of prevent Grey Fox from just taking over the game. And there is the Aphelios first pick, as we mentioned before, really strong power pick in the meta. Maybe one of the strongest, powerful AD carries at the moment.
Rel is also a meta-relevant pick for jungle, a small flex pick. We might not see it in the EAL, but we have seen it in the LPL, and yeah.
Tribal answering with the Kai'Sa pick here. Might be a flex pick. You've seen it a lot on mid lane and on bot lane at the moment. With the statics into AP build, obviously really powerful.
Yeah, there's the Aphelios as anticipated as well.
And there is the Ornn picking it away from Not So Reformed. Utilizing the Jax ban for their own. Actually,
He can still answer the Ornn.
yeah, it
with
might be a
his-
bit risky. There's also, for example, the Gwen open, which could, really punish this Ornn blind pick. And there it is,
Yeah.
the Gwen pick. So this will be, difficult to answer for Tribal. Because there's no one really who can answer the Gwen on the side lane, at least yet with the Ornn.
Tribal will
I
have
think-
to pick the jungler now. Or maybe the support, but yeah, there's the Minio
The Melio pick, also is really strong power pick.
in combination with Aphelios.
Combination with Aphelios. Though, might be dangerous against the Blitzcrank if it's going through. So if you pick the Melio, you gotta be really, really careful. Blitzcrank pick going through, so it's actually already looking like a really spicy bot lane here.
I'm hoping to see a Kha'Zix ban on the Rassentelli and the boys side.
Yeah, Kha'Zix, Lee Sin could all be like the champions for head of the table to play into the bot side, punish this Aphelios Melio lane. Because with Blitzcrank, Kai'Sa, and an aggressive jungle, I think you could really exploit this.
Kaiser can also still go for a flex pick towards mid lane. Despite
Yeah,
the
and I think
despite
that's one of the
Seth nerf.
problems of Rassentilly and the boys here facing this second ban phase. You don't really know if this Kai'Sa's gonna be mid lane or bot lane, so you can't really ban either. So yeah, you have to ban jungle. And they take out the Amumu, which has obviously a lot of teamfight power in combination with Ornn. Lilia taken out maybe, on the other hand. And there's the Ariban, so you kind of decide that you think the Kaiser's going on the bot lane. But that's up to Tribal. They
I'm
should pick a
currently in
jungler here
favor-
to keep up the flex pick. I kind of expect an Lee Sin, maybe Hecarim. Something to
Yeah,
be able to
Decent.
play aggressive towards this bottom side of the map. There's the Lee Sin. And now,
we also saw him
Rassentilly and the
play-
boys have to kind of blind pick mid lane because they don't really know if the Kai'Sa is mid or bot lane. You already have a lot of damage. You might need a bit of frontline engage. Even though with the Gren on the side lane, it might be disengage you really want for the rest of the team. Because I think you pretty much gave up teamfights already against Ornn, Kai'Sa, Lee Sin. So the Gwen is gonna try to avoid teamfighting anyways.
you can't really do much with Russ and Tilly and the boys. Oh, that's also a good pick for the
Lissandra
draft.
pick for the mid lane, but I don't really know how I like it because I don't think you can win team fights anyways. At least if the game goes more or less even. I think the Ornn, especially with the upgraded items and the long range engage, can be pretty dangerous.
You can
they-
punish a lot of mistakes with the CC that Lissandra provides and the self-protect.
And they answer it with a Jace mid lane, I suppose. So the Kai'Sa is gonna be on the bottom side of the map. Probably still going with the AP build. I do think it's a bit weaker on the bot lane because you need the level to get the 80 stats for the Q evolve on Kai'Sa. But I think with the changes, last patch, it did become playable. Before, I think you need to get level 13 on Kai'Sa to get that Q evolve with the normal items you buy, and I think now it's already on 11. So as we prepare for the game, we are going in a short break. Stay tuned and see you in game. game is just about to start. Rassentilly and the boys against Tribal. Can Rassentilly and the boys finally face their demons and secure playoffs? Or
Currently,
can
we are seeing Rassentilly and the boys preparing for the invade. They have to watch for the Blitzcrank.
it's
Beautifully placed ward. Sadly, only covering one position.
quite predictable to look for this invade with the Blitzcrank.
Yeah.
Still, it's going to be excited. Both teams facing each other. And there's the disincuted clear vision,
Oh.
and he jumps into 5 people. Rassen chasing now, but I think everyone is going to get out alive. No kills yet, but a bit of an exciting start. 2 wards placed in the rush there.
Lee Sin managed to survive at the cost of his flash. Will it cost him his early game as well, facing Xin Sao?
Yeah, I think this was kind of a bold statement there to use the second Q. Seeing 5 people there. I think he knew that everyone is going to be there, but he wanted to show dominance here at the beginning of the game.
Watching this from the POV of Group B, I'm not really sure if this is really the challenge that we will face later on.
Yeah, I think if you see the 2 teams playing here, both having in the back of their mind the fear of facing spot section in the playoffs, obviously, because yeah, that's gonna be kind of a rough challenge. Grey Fox here starting at the top side, so pathing towards his carry, his damage dealer Rassen, while Lee Sin choose to start on the bottom side of the map. Kind of an interesting choice, because you have the Ornn on the top lane. Maybe he just wants to avoid facing the Xin Zhao in the early game. And he's actually going for the mid lane gank, but the rush is warded. Still possible. Connects the Q. But Lissandra is going to get out. Grey Fox also right there at the right time, backing him up. So nothing yet happened. Still,
I
both
hope the
teams-
Blitzcrank to be playing more aggressive, especially having the winning or the strong side with the Blitzcrank pick.
Yeah, especially if you pick it against Emilio, I think you force yourself to win this lane, because otherwise you just give such a strong power pick with Emilio. So you need to get something back as a reward.
Something interesting happening in the river.
Skirmish in the river, Lee Sin facing Xin Zhao. The Blitzcrank hooks the Aphelios into the range, so he gets the kill onto Grey Fox. Everything is dying here. Double kill for Rassen, chasing after the Blitzcrank. Not quite able to get him, but still a decent start. Maybe they could even get the Azoth. No, he can't get him. Blitzcrank hooking Meteor under the toad, but can't quite kill him. Doesn't have enough damage there. 2 for 2 the trade overall, but I think with the double kill onto Aphelios, it has to be a winning trade for RTB.
Especially with the double buff.
Double buff also, yes.
The failed invade
Maybe though.
comes at the cost.
The second gank. Grey Fox is there to back him up though, so he hops onto the ward and gets out.
It's a strong vision game on Rassentilly and the boys' side. Lee Sin can't seem to find the angles to gank the lanes he wants to bring ahead. And there we see Shago just continuing the ward placement. Maybe some people might call it a lazy ward.
But not for Group A.
but
In Group
not
A,
for
this
Group
is
A.
already the highest of the high. First Drake is gonna be an Ocean Drake. Oh, gang on the mid lane. And the kill for the Shago. Punished the Jace flash earlier. Can't get out. And this is really, really strong for
Honest
Russell
playing,
Tillian
yeah.
to spry.
Honest playing this matchup fairly decent as a seasonal top lane main, I might say. I'm seeing good results from the early laning phase from On.
Yeah, as a
They're
digital top
just
laner, you
farming.
really
Gwen
can
will
analyze
also
this.
kill him.
Gwen is gonna have to TP because the wave is not fully crashed in. And now we are seeing Tribal looking for the first Drake. Not really contested off the side of RTB. Xin Zhao is on the top side of the map. Maybe looking for a mid lane gank though. Stun connects. Grey Fox closes the gap and flashes afterwards to get the kill. Gets punished though. Good roam of the Blitzcrank after the Drake. So it's a 1-for-1.
The Ocean Dragon is really beneficial to the laning phases of Tribal, especially against the Medio. For the On as well.
Yeah, I
We
think it
will
was
see. Yeah.
quite an interesting decision to just basically give it up on the side of RTB. Give it up to go for a mid lane gank. And then even after they saw the Drake was gone, chasing towards the bottom side of the river.
Lee Sin is in the bot side again, leaving top side completely unwarded for Tribal. And we also see Xin Zhao already going for the counter invade, taking a little bit more of the lead and preparing for Vision for Herald.
Yeah, this is going to be really annoying for head of the table when he reaches his topside jungle and sees all the camps gone. Doesn't really have much more to do there, so he's going for the mid lane gank, the 2v2, which we don't see. The kick, the Q, and the kill for Lee Sin. It might be in trouble though, because Grey Fox is chasing him. But he gets over the wall of the pit with his ward jump
Head
and
of the
gets
table.
out alive.
Head of the table, sitting alone at the table, taking the kill. The Q connected there. And he's going back into his jungle. Still unaware what happened to his raptors. Still not impressed by the bot lane playstyle, the passive playstyle from Tribal. And I must say that Russen really knows how to position himself. Going for the push, they know. Going for the push, they know that Blitzcrank went back. And preparing for the recall. Dragon is spawning in 2 minutes. It's a Cloud Dragon. Item-wise, we can see Jace is stacking the Tear of Goddess. Lee Sin bought himself 2 control wards, finally stepping up the vision game for Tribal.
And he's looking for the top lane gank. Also, wait again. On his
And
way
the
up.
Q hits again.
Q connects. He hasn't got the kick ready. Now he does. And the kill is secured. He doesn't even need the second Q. And now they can look towards the Heralds.
Despite all the plays, I also have to chime in with that the time is ticking against Tribal with the Aphelios and the Gwen. Lee Sin falling off by the
Fight
minute.
about the Herald, but Tribal has the numbers advantage. Blitzcrank moved up there while Milio is still on the bottom lane. So yeah, you can't really contest it. I wonder why they even try. Maybe. Oh, he's actually gone for the steal. Can't pick up the eye of the Herald, but he at least is manages to deny it from Tribal. Actually, good play from Grey Fox there, saving the mistake earlier. And on the other side of the map, you couldn't really use the numbers advantage. Blitzcrank roamed towards the top side of the map, and you didn't really manage to get anything on the bottom side of the map. You couldn't even get a plating. Kaiser with the static shift obviously got the wave clear to defend it. And now both teams are looking to position themselves towards the second Drake of the game.
Kaiser already finished the static. Yeah, and again, they see Lee Sin. He's sitting on a control ward in his back. And on an enemy ward. What else can you say about that?
We still might see a fight here about the second Drake. Grey Fox looking for the flank onto the Sin. Finding it, and the kill. So this Drake is going to be uncontested now. Really great flank of Grey Fox there. Call of the Forge God just misses. Not so reformed. That could have actually been a solo kill for the On, which is kind of unusual here.
On is also sitting at two trinket wards. Waiting for his time to place them. He know he's safe, he can always get out. How dangerous can a Xin Zhao gank be?
Yeah, we now see the first mythics completed here on both teams. Gordrinker for the Lee Sin, obviously, and Kaiser decides to not build a static shift, not build a mythic item, but to go for the static shift. Infinity Edge, first item on Aphelios. Kinda unusual not to go for the Gale Force, but I think he knows he
That he
really
doesn't need to.
has to be the damage dealer. Doesn't need the Gale Force against Blitzcrank because he obviously can dodge every hook.
And the best of it is, does he even need to dodge the hook if Blitzcrank doesn't throw the hook? So we also have that too.
3-man dive onto Way for Glory. The turret is going to fall, and On has no chance of survival there.
SBN Krydel would have gotten a triple kill there, just saying.
Yeah, obviously, but this is Group A. So we gotta, yeah. We can't expect too much here on the mechanical side.
I really miss the deep wards. I think if they prepared the ganks for Lee Sin and he really hits those Qs, if they lead to kills, he could have gotten way more out of bot lane.
Skirmish here in the jungle. Blitzcrank is getting caught. Lee Sin connects the Q onto Shago, but can't use the second. Another double kill for Aphelios, and this Rassen is going to be really, really strong. He knows he has to step up, and until now, he definitely does.
On should no longer be able to hold his own against Gwen, especially with the Mythic. And with only a tier 2 turret.
Yeah, the Riftmaker completed, and now it's so difficult. The level 2 ultimate, it's really, really be a rough time for this Ornn to survive.
And again, unable to gank bot lane. Fair enough. Felios and Emilio really played this clean. They know how deep they can push, how deep they can go, when they have to leave. And yeah, as said, the time is ticking, and Tilly Russen and Russen Tilly and the boys. We will leave that up to the viewers. Is already 5k gold ahead. Is getting the first tier 2 turret soon.
Shago trying to dive here. Has to use the stopwatch. Grey Fox trying to disengage with the ultimate, but Shago is going down. And Grey Fox also dying here, so this might have been a little bit too aggressive. Instantly getting punished here. On the other side of the map, Gwen using her split push potential to get the turret down.
The coordination on Russ and Tilly and the boys is just rising. The next time, the next dive attempt will look horrendous on the tribal side. And we see the ward usage on Lee Sin.
Head of the table, trying to get the Q onto Gwen, but he's not able to connect
It's
it.
already too late. With Drang spawning, it's a Mountain Soul. And it can only benefit Russ and Tilly and the boys.
Now tribal starting this Herald. Grey Fox on the bottom side of the map, so it should be free for them. On the other side, RTB is giving this up, deciding to get the Drake for it. And I think after minute 18, or after minute 14, at minute 18, this is worth for RTB, because I think the Drake with the scaling kicking in is obviously much more powerful than this Herald, which can't really get platings anymore. So yeah, they get the T1 turret on the top side. But I think the Mountain Drake for Russ and Tilly and the boys much more valuable.
I really like the pick potential. No, let me speak out. You might think that I'm talking about Blitzcrank. No, but I'm talking about Lissandra and Xin Zhao. That they have on Lee Sin, on Jace, when they attempt to rotate. And we can already see that now, how they are preparing the red side jungle for themselves, for the rotations with vision, and yeah.
Second item completed here for Aphelios, the Lunar's Hurricane.
We can
This in
also
combination with his blue weapon is so incredibly powerful.
we can also expect Gwen to go bot lane. Oh, yeah, okay, she's already pathing towards bot lane. And preparation for Baron. They want Lissandra at the team, close to the team, with the freeze, the CC chain, to prevent getting caught, or yeah, well, throwing away their lead. And some, yeah, if something goes
Already over 3k gold lead for RTB, so they really, really did the first step to securing the playoffs for the first time in this team's history. But maybe getting over the line is the difficulty.
After the first dive attempt, they might be a little bit too afraid to push the game more towards the in their favor. Because they can play it slow, they don't have to force it. But I would like to see more action at this stage of the game.
Yeah, I think Tribal is really on a timer here. I mean, obviously, you've got a great scaling with the Kai'Sa and with the Ornage item upgrades. But the Jace and the Lee Sin kind of falling off in the late game. And on the other hand, you have the super strong Aphelios, the Gwen. So yeah, you don't really have to be afraid of the late game. Especially because there is no one to face Not So Reformed on the top lane.
Also really confident and strong to be able to pick Gwen in the first rotation just because Ornn was already prioritized. Also in combination with Aphelios and Melio to be able to play that.
Now Tribal looking to collapse onto the Gwen. Q connects from Lee Sin.
This could be a Baron.
But she has so much damage, actually almost gets the kill onto head of the table. And on the other hand, RTB can look them for the Baron now. So yeah, you put your jungler on the bottom side of the map and you get punished for it. But Wade again finds the hook onto Shago and is able to deny the Baron. This is what he picked this champion for, and he finally manages to step up his game. Still, I think this might have been a mistake to put the Lee Sin on the bottom side of the map. Because even if you got the kill and you gave up Nash, it would be really bad for you. Now the Mana Mune
Kai'Sa
and
Kai'Sa chapter.
Yeah, he's going for the magic damage build. Obviously, in combination with this Jace, I think it's really great because you have so much poke potential with Jace and the Kai'Sa W. You just have to be aware of the side lane.
I think it also shows that they are too afraid to go in. Despite having an Ornn or Lee Sin.
Now, everyone besides Not So Reformed is going for this Drake. But on the top lane, you already got 2 turrets. So there's a lot of way to push for the Gwen.
I think it will also be another steal for Rassentelli and the boys. Look how they are covering, trying to pull it out. It moves back in.
Tribal already starting up
Doing
the Drake. Grey Fox position on the other side of the pit. But now the engage onto Rassen. Kai'Sa is going in but can't get the kill. Tribal looks to disengage. But now the Gwen teleported and is shredding the whole backline of Tribal. Great play. And this Drake turned out to be a disaster for Tribal. Chasing, and everyone is getting slaughtered. 5 kills. Clean ace for RTB. The Drake in addition, and maybe they can even look for the Nash. This really didn't turn out the way Tribal planned it.
I was really hoping for Tribal to win, but after that invade, all hope was lost from the draft already.
Yeah, they kinda entered it now, not gonna lie.
Can they actually recover?
Can they actually recover and keep their last chance of the playoffs alive? Or did they get in a position which is unwinnable now? They decide not to go for the Nash though. So they're going
Going-
to play really safe. I think they could have done it if they moved instantly towards the Drake and then towards the Baron, but they decided to push the mid lane and the bot lane turret. Maybe they are afraid of losing.
I
Maybe
think
the demons
Rasputin-
in their head are too scary for them.
What I think is that Russ and Tilly and the boys, they are intentionally giving Tribal the time to set up again so they can generate more gold when they fight for Baron and secure Baron.
Or maybe they don't even want to
It's
get
power
to the
play.
playoffs because they are too afraid of Spot Section facing them.
Or Sports Nation. We don't
Sports
know
Nation,
yet.
yeah, Sports Nation and their brand new top laner Trollkak. So they decide to throw away the game and avoid to face the best team in the league. By far.
They still have the on upgrades though, if they can.
Yeah,
They
but
like-
look at the split push power of Gwen. Hook connects to Russell, and that is the kill of the AD carry.
Gwen doesn't even care. She just goes in and shows
She
on what's
keeps pushing and pushing and pushing
yeah,
and
hitting the tower.
just shreds to the HP of the Ornn. But with the catch on the Aphelios, this might be really dangerous. Starting up the Baron now. Grey Fox on the
Now,
other
now
side of the
Tribal
pitch
feels
ready.
confident.
But the Gren is just pushing and pushing
doesn't
and
care.
pushing. He doesn't care about anything. Gets killed now. Using the Zhonya's without minions might not be the best idea. Nash secured. So
How
this
did they
might
throw that?
actually be the comeback for Tribal. I mentioned it earlier, the demons in their head. Getting that game towards the finish line can be so scary. Looking at their team's history, never making playoffs of the EAL. And now
They went
getting
too
so
confident.
close, it might have get in their head.
Ornn somehow managed to secure the kill. I don't want to say it. Maybe Gwen was too greedy, going for the
A
tower
bit too
there as
greedy,
well.
didn't even get the first
Lee
Nexus turret.
Lee Sin managed to steal the Baron. Will that be enough to keep the game alive?
But also wait again with the Blitzcrank, stepping up once again in this game, hooking the carry of Russ and Tilly and the boys,
Yeah.
securing the Nash, getting the
might have-
shutdown.
He might have wished going for the Gale Force now. Maybe it was all just a
Maybe-
mental game from
maybe it
Blitzcrank to
was.
Blitzball, though. Yeah.
And this Kaiser is looking so strong now. Luden's complete.
A false sense of security.
Soon going for the death cap. So these long range Ws are going to hurt really, really bad. The Drake is
Drake,
about
yeah.
to spawn. Russ and Tilly and the boys looking to complete their Mountain Soul. But Tribal obviously not going to let that happen just for free. So we are going to see probably the next big team fight.
Yeah.
Blitzcrank Cosmetics. Listen, Q connects
Romantic
onto
game.
Grey Fox. Will he jump in? No, he decides not to. Might be the smarter option.
Okay.
But
Jace also gets the chance that Gwen got herself.
Grey Fox starting this Drake up. You see the
Yeah,
poke of the Kaiser W, but it misses, so you're losing a lot of power.
Oh,
TP's coming in from both teams. Lissandra going in with the 3-man stun. On
And a
ultimate
flash.
follows up. Russen with the first kill onto Ornn. And this is looking really, really bad for Tribal.
wait, what?
What is happening? I can't follow.
Aphelios canceling one auto attack after another.
This is
Strong,
why he bought the
strong.
Infinity Edge. But
Heck.
Kai'Sa with the double kill saves
Ow.
the game, maybe. What is going on?
Russ and Tilly and the boys is in shambles.
Both
How
AD
did they
carries
manage
are
that?
showing off in this game. Russ now looking to start this dragon up alone. Lee Sin in his base defending the super minion waves. But he
I
is
think
going towards the drake now.
I might have rather seen Gwen going for the Nexus tower dive instead fighting for the
It doesn't have the
dragon.
most DPS weapons, but it should be just in time before Lee Sin is
Ah.
there. And he secures the clouds, the mountain soul for his team. Without being punished by Lee Sin.
I mean, Russ and Tilly and the boys, they have the mountain soul now. They will go for another Baron. They're keeping the game alive intentionally, maybe not intentionally. I don't know how much they love League of Legends, but I think they do love.
And I think the mountain soul is not the best soul for them. Don't really have this front line, which can really benefit from it. Battle around the red buff, but nothing is going to happen. Kai'Sa poking the minions with her W. And here we see the Gwen already starting her next attack on the side lane. She is so powerful, almost got the death cap up as well. But this game really is about Kai'Sa against Aphelios. Who is going to be the harder carry for the team? Who is going to step up at the clutch moments?
The CS diff on top side also shows how
Yeah,
all is struggling to
more than
side lane
100
with
CS
this.
advantage for this Gwen.
All fun.
Didn't
under
really
the
expect
Nexus
it to be
turrets,
different.
All fun under the Nexus turret.
This is
so-
exactly why you did pick the Gwen into the Ornn.
Go on. Let's go. On wants a team fight for the Baron as well, but he has no other choice but to defend bot lane, defend, or rather getting slaughtered against the Gwen.
Yeah, Tribal trying to keep that
No.
pressure up on the top side of the map with the Kai'Sa poke, with the Jace poke. While on the other side, Gwen is pushing and pushing and pushing towards the base of Tribal. And Ornn has no chance of dealing with her.
Yeah.
So they really gotta be fast here with the Baron.
Ornn is also only left with upgrading the item of the Blitzcrank. A Shuridias. Even Shot might have been smarter. Maybe.
Gwen entering the base here.
Oh, yeah.
Tribal is
Already preparing
trying to find the engagement on the other side, but they can't make it. But Lissandra killing Jace, actually. Misses the Q, but gets the kill in the end.
Yeah.
But what? This is damage from Gwen on the Nexus. She's trying to end the game here. Can she actually make
Gwen-
it? No, the
No.
Kai'Sa damage is way too much. This might
Gwen
actually be
decided
dangerous.
she has other businesses today.
But with
This was-
Kai'Sa going to defend the base, the Nash is...
Nah, Lee Sin will
actually-
steal it.
Lee Sin can't steal it.
From the...
Philios securing the Baron, but just getting the kill onto the Gwen in return. This game actually got so intense. You really feel like both teams can actually win the game, but now it's so dangerous for Tribal with the Nexus open and the Gwen with Ghost and Teleport up as soon as he respawns. The Death Cap is up, the Zhonya's is up. So yeah, they really got to put 2 or 3 members of their team always into the base.
No, this is getting good. 1 minute? No, okay, 2 minutes till Elder, but... Yeah. Kai'Sa with the poke. I think we will see Gwen, once she's close enough, just walking straight to the Nexus We have to get the Kaiser back to base to defend.
Yeah, no one
I
else
don't-
really
don't-
on the team
Yeah, I don't
of
see how that
Trial
happens.
is able to protect the base from Gwen. And with Kaiser not on the map, it's so difficult for Tribal to actually contest those objectives.
I didn't expect Tribal to put up such a fight against Russian
Yeah, with the backs against the wall, as the clear underdogs in this game, they put out the best they can to try to still be able to compete. And what a game. I mean, in Group B, obviously, RTB would have already won the game. Or lost the game, probably.
No.
I mean, any Group B team in the position of RTB would have already won the game.
Yes.
But yeah, this is Group A. This is, yeah, kind of
Maybe the best it will ever get.
interesting league. And now Tribal positioning towards this Elder Drake in 15
I
seconds.
think it's not only. Oh yeah, it's not only a skill difference that we see here. It's also a skin difference.
The skin difference, yeah.
On has no skin.
But
Jace has
Lee
a
Sin
budget
is playing
skin.
with the Muay Thai skin, so he's probably already won the skin battle by itself.
I mean, yeah.
Tribal starting this Elder Dragon, 7k HP left, but the Gwen is in the base attacking the Nexus. Can she end the
Yeah, it's not-
game?
She can.
She can! There's no way Jace, Devs, and Drussen, Tilly and the boys face their demons. They finally get the win. What a game did we see here.
What a finish to a beautiful Sunday.
What a finish to the Sunday. As we mentioned all throughout the game, it is so difficult to deal with this Gwen on the side lane. The Ornn is just getting slaughtered, and even the Jace on the mid lane has no chance.
And now we
Wow.
see Discord leaked DMs, GG.
I don't think the stream saw it.
That's
Ah, what a banger of a game. Obviously sad for
interviewen wir.
Hello. And you guys getting interviewed.
wait, we?
Yeah, I have some.
Okay.
I've prepared some questions for you.
Oh.
Is it a test now if we really paid attention?
As in-
More or less. Like, let's just start first with something easy. What do you think about Group A and B in general?
Yeah, I mean, obviously you see that the standard in Group A is incredibly low compared to Group B. I think really, yeah, there is not much, not many dangerous teams that can actually compete in the playoffs. So yeah, I mean, I can't see any Group A team actually make it to the final. It's all about Group B, all about spot section.
And Crider, what do you think? You
I
sticking with
think
your partner
B-
here? Oh,
B has, yeah, obviously. B has a lot of drama. I haven't heard that much about drama in A. But it also shows that we are up for the competition and we really mean it. And yeah. I also haven't seen that much of Group A, except for Lost Nation, obviously, the strongest contender of Group A, or the EAL. But yeah.
Oh, thank you. Then, what do you think is the best team of each group?
Yeah. Group
I
A
mean-
already said it. Lost Nation, obviously.
I think it just have to be Lost Nation for Group A and Spots Nation for Group B. I mean, I think there isn't even much of a discussion.
And we also worked a lot on our team, just saying. That's why I think Sports Nation is the best of Group B. We also had some interesting changes coming up. The other teams might already be shaking if they see the roster changes. But yeah.
I'm really interested to see you guys next week. Okay, like let's get into the next one. Do you know any hidden gems in terms of players or teams who are actually like underrated and can make a way through the group and into the players and show what they can?
I'm not sure if you guys have seen the tier list, but I can only speak from the POV of Spot Section because I haven't really looked up a lot of different players, maybe. But the tier list speaks for itself. I'm D tier top lane.
Good that you play
But-
on mid lane now.
Yeah, that's why I'm back on mid lane. The seasonal top laner is returning to his throne. We might see me getting there A tier or maybe S tier. And I don't know. Do you remember other team player names?
I also think Goats for Hire is way underrated. Even though they couldn't find a lot of wins yet in this season, I think they're showing some great potential, especially on this top side of the map with the Garen power pick. I think even though they are already out of playoffs contention, I think this is something to really look out for the rest of the split.
Oh, that's some interesting words here. I mean, I'm also I think Gods for Hire can actually win some games and get some higher in the list. What do you?
Yeah, I think it's just a matter of time until it really clicks for them, and they start just slaughtering everyone else.
Oh wait, I forgot disabled Noxy. I think he has a lot of potential. Yeah,
Yeah,
he
she
just
did.
has to
she
put
did
more
good.
games in.
You did great. Okay, the best player of each group.
Oof. This is
Right.
difficult. This is difficult. I think in Group B, from what I've seen, yeah, I can't do different than give it to Lucifer. I think especially if he is really going to role swap towards the support position, I think he's going to be great influence on the team. And in Group A, I think it's quite even. I think there's not really that kind of a standout player. I would have even said Russen, but with this game now, I think he kind of lost his spot in the discussion here, getting grabbed by this Blitzcrank.
I remember a lot of good Russian games and also some good Russian games he lost being 10-1. But let's hope he can fix those things and make it better this season and finally reach the playoffs.
Yeah, he really stepped up in the early phases of the game today. Then in the late game, it got a little bit scrappier. But I guess a win is a win.
Okay, now I have something like, who do you think is like the pick to go in the current meta?
Ooh, this is
Can I
difficult.
leak it? Can I leak it?
Yeah, you can leak it, I think.
Fiddlesticks mid lane.
What the fuck? Okay. I believe in you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if it's not the fiddle mid lane, I think it could be the Kaiser. It could be the Kaiser on especially with the flex opportunity to put it in the bot lane and on the mid lane. Aphelios also really strong.
I got one more thing from my side and then 2 commissions from the coach
Oh,
from
no.
Spot Section.
Oh no.
The last thing from my side is, which team do you guys think wins EL?
Obviously we will.
Don't clip it.
I think Spot Section is here to win. Everything else would be a huge disappointment. Yeah.
Then the last thing is, who do you guys think is the best player of spot section?
Prochoke. No doubt.
I mean, Trollsuk did prove himself on various positions, and he always stepped up and carried the whole team on his shoulders.
We might also be able to tune in a clip because not everyone has seen it.
I also have like the last thing for me, coach. When do you guys give up playing competitive and join your life being a caster?
Yeah, I have enough time for both.
That was it from my side. Thank you for the interview,
You're welcome. Thanks.
and thanks for casting today.
Thank you very much
Been a
for
pleasure.
having us and giving us the opportunity. And I just prepared the clip of Trochoke playing ADC. Against Baza Esports.
Yeah, when I saw it for the first time, I was kind of scared about my spot in the team. Not gonna lie.
Reasonably. Ah, there it is. Is it even the play? I hope so. Maybe the wrong one.
No, it's this one. Oh, beautiful.
So if this doesn't get him S tier ADC, I don't know what will. Especially against a B tier top lane. And rest was B, A, C tiered of the enemy team as well, just saying.
Yeah, that's
we're
it for today's EAL action. Thanks for tuning in. Stay tuned. Next week is gonna be as a banger of games as today. See you. Thanks for tuning in, and good night.
Good night.